Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kakasungura YouTube channel. I will never get tired to say thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support. Kaka, I don't know the best language for me to use for Kenyans to understand what is going on in this country. I'm looking at my phone because I'm using it for some references so that I do not miss a point. Now, sometimes I sit down and ask myself the kind of language I'm able to use suitable for each and every Kenyan to understand what is happening in this country. When you see Raila Odinga against a government-to-government deal, Raila is salvaging the economy of this country in ways that I want you to understand today. People think Raila Odinga fighting for open tender in petroleum wants to benefit himself. That's what people say. But today, listen to me carefully, and I want to explain to you why Raila is fighting this so hard to retain the system that other governments have been using, the open tender system. There's something I want you to understand. In East Africa, we have landlocked countries. Sijui kama wale mulifanya geography, social studies, you're able to understand this. Landlocked countries means zile nchi ambazo hazina bahari kando yao, so they are landlocked. They cannot directly access the sea or the ocean. Hizo ndio tunaita landlocked, yani zimefungiwa na mchanga, zimefungiwa na earth. Ukitoka hapa ni earth, ukitoka hapa ni earth. So there is no way you can directly access the sea or an ocean. These countries include Uganda, Sudan, Rwanda, and which one is this? Yeah? So those are countries which cannot directly access the sea or the ocean. Now, what is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? I did a video some days back and told you how the reversing of Naivasha services back to Mombasa will affect businesses in Uganda and Sudan. Nikaeleza, wale mulikuwa hapa, I hope you got that video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Uganda has been importing 90% of its petroleum products through Kenya. You got it right? Petroleum products zote zinatumiwa Uganda zimekuwa zikipita through Kenya. Unanielewa? Haya. Product zote zilikuwa zinaenda Congo, zilikuwa zinapita through Kenya and others. But let me focus on petroleum because that is where we are now. Although wanachukua zingine, but let me focus on petroleum. So petrol products zote zilikuwa zinaenda Congo, zilikuwa zinapita through Kenya. Petroleum products zote zilikuwa zinaenda Sudan, zote zilikuwa zinapitia Kenya. Now, you know, munasoma katika vyombo vya habari, you read news, na mumesikia kwamba Uganda is ending business with Kenya. So Uganda haiendi tena kupata mafuta yao kupitia Kenya. They are negotiating deals with Tanzania. You know what that means to Kenya? Congo itself is also pulling out of Kenya. Why? Because of the current system William Ruto is using in importation of fuel. So mkiona Raila anapigana na hii mafuta, sio eti anajipigania. Raila is salvaging the billions Kenya is going to lose when these countries are going to pull out of Kenya. Sijui kama mnanielewa vizuri. I don't know. You know, according to the research I have done, Kenya is going to lose over 15 billion in revenue collection once these landlocked countries are going to pull out of Kenya. So when Raila is fighting to retain the Uhuru system, Raila is simply fighting for our own economy. So wale mumekuwa mkipiga kelele atio Raila sijui anajipigania, ndugu, ni vile nyinyi ni washen, amuelewi biashara. What I'm telling you now is on internet. Wewe enda Google, tumia simu. If you think I'm lying to you, use your phone. Just Google. Uganda, mafuta inaenda Uganda, inapitia wapi? Just Google. Mafuta yenye inaenda Uganda, inapitia wapi? Kenya. Mafuta inaenda Sudan, inapitia wapi? Kenya. Mafuta yenye inaenda Congo, inapitia wapi? Kenya hapa. So, Raila is a man who is fighting for this nation and not for self-interests. And ladies and gentlemen, according to the information I got here, Uganda is pulling out because of the controversial government-to-government deal between the Kenyan government and the Gulf countries, that is Saudi Arabia. Now, the 4 countries I've told you, which are expected to pull out of Kenya because they cannot directly access the sea where their products can directly come and dock. Zingine zinatoa Mombasa. So kutoa Mombasa lazima ipitie through Kenya ndio iende kwa countries zao. And Kenya gains billions of shillings in tax revenue. Now, the CEO of a Kenyan oil firm is saying this. Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, and South Sudan are considering to pull out of the oil business in Kenya. Now, we are going to have Uganda, actually 5 countries. Naenda kuwa na Uganda, South Sudan, Congo, Burundi, right? Tuko na Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, and Uganda. Uganda is already Uganda is already negotiating with Tanzania. And the other 4 I have mentioned, that is Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and Congo, are also making considerations. They are not comfortable. Kuna makatero mahali fulani wanajitakia mazuri. Na mkikumbuka nikiwaambia, if you think some people want to rescue Kenya's economy, you're lost. Now, this is what he's saying. The region is not asleep and has aligned infrastructure projects to manage our dominance. It has options. And in the long run, Kenya shall lose big time. That is the CEO of an oil firm warning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see where we're heading as a country. Nimeamua kuzungumza hii kwa sababu nimeona watu wakipiga Raila ati Raila anajitafutia mafuta, Raila nini. Even if you are in Kenya kwanza, wachana na hii kelele napigwa na Dennis Itumbi, Aniko Mbombu doesn't understand anything. let me tell you, this information is in just go and Google. It's on internet. Wewe Google, mafuta inaenda Uganda inapitia wapi? Mafuta yenye inaenda South Sudan inapitia wapi? Mafuta yenye inaenda Rwanda inapitia wapi? Mafuta yenye inaenda DRC Congo inapitia wapi? Mafuta yenye inaenda Burundi inapitia wapi? It is a public information. Kama uko na mtu ya serikali kwa hizo countries, wewe muulize. He will tell you we are planning to pull out of Kenya. Kwa nini? William Ruto ametuharibia biashara za mafuta. That is the reason. Period. Hakuna story ingine. That's what they're citing here. Anasema the current president. Unajua, the 5 countries they have done businesses with Kenya for decades. Marais wamekuja bado wanafanya biashara na hizo maserikali. Sai dola inakimbia juu against the Kenyan shilling. Kenya is losing investors. Sai 5 countries are pulling out of Kenya. Kenya is going to lose over 15 billion. Wewe unajua 15 billion ni pesa ngapi lakini? 15 billion pesa unaweza kula for over 300 years. Na huwezi maliza. So, mkiona baba anazungumzia Raila is protecting a country for a future generation. And I hope you understand. Na mimi sidanganyi watu. Nimekuambia, if you think I'm lying to you, nimekupatia leakage. Go and do your own research. Uniletee majibu kwa comment section. Raila is defending our country. Raila is defending our business. Raila is defending our economy. We should support him by all means possible. Raila is known to be a man who stands by Kenya. Raila is a man who is known. Yeye si mtu wa selfish interest kama wengine wale wanasema moja ni yake, ingine ni ya yule, na ingine mnajua huyo ni nani, vile Uhuru alikuwa anawaambia. Wakenya mtakulwa, you will be chewed. Na bado. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next video. Asanteni sana.